How you feeling?
Super stoked.
Holy who did we get out of Texas?
Guys, I have bad news, and it just did not want to go at all.
I did it. I bought a van. After looking through some different van builds, I knew I wanted a Ford Transit Connect. Not only was it small and stealthy, but it fit in the price range I was looking for. I loved design and decor, so knew exactly how I would style my home on wheels. I knew I wouldn't be able to do it all on my own, but thankfully I have someone close to me who can build just about anything.
Let's get to work.
I've liked the idea of building out a van for a while, but with international travel being a priority for me, I hadn't gotten the chance. With my sister having a baby recently, I knew I wanted to be around her in Orange County, but didn't want to commit to a long-term rental. So this seemed like the perfect time to try van life and get to live near the beach. I was able to start by removing the stuff I didn't want in the van, like the ceiling panel. As soon as I had troubles with the van, I felt a wave of regret. I thought maybe this isn't the right time for me to get a van. Maybe I should have gone on a working holiday in Australia. Or maybe I just didn't think this all through. I've been intrigued with traveling in different ways, so it only makes sense I would eventually buy a van to live in. I got these step covers off after some prying. You might notice the pine needles on the floor. The first adventure the van went on was collecting old Christmas trees to bring to a bonfire. Those, along with the plastic flooring, came out next. I cleaned up the windows with the razor blade, then took off the panels on the back doors, and that was pretty much the demo done.
Right, I just got to Home Depot and I'm about to get some foam insulation board and some plywood to get the van started. Ooh!
I got this insulation board and plywood for a quick, cheap, and easy subfloor. After applying some adhesive, I laid down some underlayment. After living with salt and tar, I saw the freedom that working on YouTube could provide. I love to travel, and people find me pretty entertaining, so I thought, why not take a whack at it? My sister helped me put the same insulating material on the sides. Alright, I'm about to get the insulation put in on the floor, and then I'll put the plywood subfloor in. Working into the night, I put in my simple subfloor, based off how I saw a couple do it in their van build. I'm on my way to my dad's house to work on the van. Just hit the first bit of lovely California traffic. Here I'm putting on some sound deadening mats. Next, I got wool insulation put into all the nooks and crannies of the van. I couldn't have made my van dreams a reality without my handy dad, who can build just about anything. Here he is measuring out the shelf above the cab, getting it put up, and being thoroughly impressed by his own work. And this is just a shelf. Just wait to see how it all turns out. You better subscribe.
Check that out. How does it look?
That's perfect.
Holy who did we get out of Texas?
The first thing to actually get installed was the ceiling panels, so he got to work cutting those out. I can remember being a little girl sitting in my dad's garage while he was building something or working on a truck, and he would hand me some nails and a hammer and some wood, and I would just love nailing the wood together. That sounds dirty. After measuring and planning, we got them up. It's a funny thing watching yourself back and working with your dad when you're an adult. You realize where you get some mannerisms. I've realized that we all say, "Here, hand me that," or "Here, give me this thing." We start off saying "here," and my dad does it, I do it, my sister does it, my brother does it, and working with my dad made me realize that that's where I get it from. Next was actually securing the shelf to the van and making sure it was strong. We used the same wood for covering the back doors and made sure to create holes so I could push those buttons to fully open them. We also made coverings for the inside window spots. I love these peel and stick tiles I found on Amazon and got those stuck on some insulation board for my backsplash. We got that installed with silicone, which my dad makes look so easy. Those things are tough to squeeze out. When I saw the backsplash up, I knew my vision was coming to reality. It looks so cute. I love it. After that, my dad showed off his carpentry skills, making those cabinet door frames out of pallet wood I got for free off Facebook Marketplace. You've heard of vegan. I call myself a freegan. I'll eat or use anything that's free. He used the same wood to make a frame for the shelf. Probably 2 years ago, I actually bought a small school bus with the hopes of building that out. And now looking back, I realized it was a great endeavor that I was not going to be able to accomplish. Being in Texas, away from my dad, the dream maker. So that was left in the dust, and I'm glad that it was, because a Ford Transit Connect is much more my style at the moment, and being able to be discreet. Because I can park anywhere with my little guy, and no one would be the wiser. While he was working on more frames, I measured and sketched out the cabinet door panels, which he then cut. We got more wood installed with silicone, then cut more pieces for the bottom half of the doors. And got all the sides and holes to access the locks and handles sanded. My dad wedged scrap wood into the door to help hold the panels tight while the silicone dried. Traced. And it's been raining, so I noticed that there was a little leak. So we had to fill in the holes with silicone. As you saw, I traced the back window area on a paper. Then I used that to cut out the shape of insulation I needed. This sounds easy in theory, but was surprisingly difficult. I did the same for the 2 back windows and made a silly mistake by not making both outer sides silver. But not a big deal, easily fixed with some silver tape. I knew I wanted the inside of them to be black to go with the aesthetic. I used spray adhesive to stick black sheets to both of them, and the other one on the back left side. Right, I'm about to get these back window coverings covered with some black sheet just to make it look a little nicer, a little more fashionable. On that one, I left more sheet so I could cover the rest of that wall area. Okay, well that went all right. Definitely learned what not to do and what better to do for the next one. Gosh, my arms are so tired after that. Dad makes it look so easy. All right, I soaked my cane. My next project was getting the cane webbing put on the upper cabinet doors. First, I soaked it in hot water for 30 minutes, then rolled it out, stapled it on, and cut off the excess. Guys, I have bad news. I think I bought a lemon. I need this. So I was leaving work today and I'm putting it in reverse, putting my van in reverse, and it just did not want to go at all. It seemed like the parking brake was engaged, even though it wasn't. And it would just make these horrible noises. And eventually, after trying a bunch of times, I even tried going forward and I was just going to romp the parking curb thing. But put it back in reverse. And like I kept turning it off, turning it back on, trying again. I got it into reverse and it eventually lurched back. It was so scary. And then I made it to my sister's house, thankfully. And as I'm pulling up, her neighbor heard me driving down the road. And I told him what had happened. And he said that it seems like it's probably my transmission. So I have to go get that checked out. Super fun. Yeah, not looking forward to it. Probably be at least a couple grand. Was not expecting that. So we'll see.